Hey, Ninsoni! Welcome back to VR. Today's video is a little bit unusual. Now before I continue, I just want to make sure that everyone understands this video is not, this project here, it's not a physically accurate representation of what I'm talking about. It's not a statement about inside-out tracking. It is about my opinions, and it's about what I don't like about the idea of changing towards only that form of tracking. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to discuss something which I saw for the future of VR, and for a long while I thought Oculus and Valve and all of the companies would be going towards that. And Oculus themselves seem to have completely veered off to a different pathway. And that's actually annoyed me. And it's actually about natural VR. Now, what am I talking about? So, having a look at the screen in front of you, you'll see a lot of lines, a lot more lines, and now lots and lots of lines. You can see an image in front of me on a panel. On my left, another panel. On my right, another panel behind me. And you'll also see these two green dots at the top left and top right. What those dots are determinations as to what is being tracked. So they're just a little guess of what I think would be considered properly tracked and what wouldn't. And essentially, if you completely block the sensors on one controller, you'll see I've got a red light on that controller. And on the other controller, if you block the sensors, you get a red light on the other one. And you can see that the green lines actually block out when I cover them. The red lines show the ones that are switching. So if I switch off the green lines, you'll see that more red lines appear on the things that are being seen by the cameras. There we go. So this model on my headset, it's just a fake one that I sort of made. I've put the sensors where I expect them to be in the real Oculus Rift S. So there's actually one on top there as well. If you look carefully at my tracking here, you'll see that the lines appear up here on my head. Right, so you can see exactly where the cameras are coming. They're detecting all of the little range. Now the range I've gone with for the cameras is 85 degrees. So this blue line here shows when the camera can't actually see because of its range, because of its sort of angle. That's what each of the lines means. The red and green are obviously the more important ones. When things turn red, it means they can't be seen because something's blocking them. Or if they completely vanish, then it simply means that they're out of range, which would normally show with the blue lines. Right, so what's the video about? The video is about natural VR. What Oculus has done is obviously switched to fully inside-out tracking. And they've decided that the sensors, one here, one there I have, are not going to be continued. They're going to be discontinued, along with the Rift itself, which pretty much already has been discontinued. Whatever stocks are left, you can buy one, otherwise you just can't, right? And I don't agree. Why? From the start of VR, so for the past 3 or 4 years, however long I've actually been able to play with VR, and that goes with the DK2 days. I actually have a DK2 in this here, question mark Mario box in this box here. I have a DK2 from the old days, and even since then, my aim for VR was to have natural movement, natural VR, where I could just relax my arms and walk about nice and naturally, nice and easy. And that's something you'll have seen in my locomotion systems, which from the start I've always aimed for being able to move naturally in VR. Now I've got hybrid, it sort of works almost perfectly for what I wanted, where you could just sort of have your arms down here, the directionality is calculated almost perfectly in most cases, and then you can just sort of sway to walk, and then you can even get into a jog, and you can see it's just a very natural movement. Not too much effort, not too much of any of that. Right, and you can see here, I can actually move the camera in front of me as well. So why am I upset? Well, inside-out tracking is a bit of a problem for that, when it's all coming from the headset. You see, when you stand like this, like I said, this is not a physically perfect example of what would actually happen. It's just a sort of guess and a sample and an explanation of why I don't want to go this route. Watch what happens when I turn my head. You see that red light up there? Yeah, that's because I've lost tracking to my left hand. I'm standing naturally. And obviously, with the sensors out there, I am getting that tracking. It's perfect. Look, I can sort of move, you can see my hand moving around there, right? On that screen there. Well, obviously it's not a perfect animator. You can see I can put my hand through my body, but you know, that's a problem for me. You can see the sort of green lines there. If I turn the camera there, you can see the green lines just die out when I look up. That's a bit of a problem because my aim for VR was to have natural motion. And by doing this, we've completely lost that. Now that's okay for the Oculus Quest or anything like that, you know, mobile devices where you can't have sensors, it's physically impossible. But for the high end, the literal top end of Oculus products, which is the Oculus Rift S, that is sort of, to me, unacceptable. You know, there's other scenarios like when I put my hands up here and I turn them out. You see this? I'm literally just opening my hands out. Now, this is basically the Jesus pose, you know, and it's sort of losing tracking quite easily. You know, like that. I just do that and it turns red, and depending on where my head goes, you can see it's sort of getting tracking. It's very unusual. Now, before anyone says anything, no, I'm not using a standard Oculus Touch controller design. Obviously, I've modified the design. I keep thinking that these things are real, but they're not. You can see I can, you know, go right through. Obviously, in reality, they are here, the sort of rings. So I've tried to make a sample of exactly what the actual Oculus Touch Rift S Touch will be like, and these are the ones replacing the current ones as well. So it's sort of an exact, well, an almost exact replica of what's really going to be the case. A lot of people did worry about bow and arrow, and I'm going to show you that's not something to worry about. You can see, I actually, if you look carefully, this is kind of natural. Now, obviously, you are seeing a red dot happening, but what I suspect, because I am getting this problem, I suspect they're actually going to have sensor LEDs on the inside of the ring as well. I have a feeling that they are, but we wouldn't know until the actual devices come out and someone actually has a look at them through a normal camera with the infrared blocker out. So we will only know then. But based on, you know, standard stuff, bows and arrows in VR, pretty standard stuff. So yeah, it's not too bad. I think when you look at it from different angles, you can see, you know, it should be tracking that. It really should. This is pretty natural of me to stand for a bow and arrow. You can see it really should be tracking that. Obviously, it's not because it's getting occluded, because the lights are not on the inside of the ring, and that's why I suspect that they are. Distance, I don't think is going to be a problem. I think that Oculus has probably solved that, because when it comes to the sensors, they are quite good even at very close distances. Their FOV is pretty crazy, and when you look at the actual shape of the holes where these sensors are on the Oculus Rift S, you'll see they've actually got quite a wide arc to allow for the FOV. So I think I've gone with 85 degrees on here, which is pretty much, you know, it's quite open. It's almost flat against. It's almost 180 degrees from one side to the other. It's 170 in reality. So yeah, pretty damn cool. Anyways, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem I have with inside-out tracking as a sort of future thing. They've diverged from what I believe would be natural VR and gone towards, well, basically mobile VR. I don't like that idea, and this is what I'm quite upset with. I mean, me myself, I got the hardware, I got the CV1. These devices right here, I got them through Oculus Hardware Request, and I really appreciate, you know, everything about Oculus. I absolutely love the design of everything, the feel of these controllers. I'd imagine compared to the Vive, I've never used them, but just look at them and you can see that these are gonna be more ergonomic, you know, and this is the first controllers they came out with. It all works so well, and then they've changed their pathway to something that I don't think is good enough. I think here you can see I'm clearly able to actually get tracking with my normal sensors, but the moment I turn, I've kind of lost tracking, because now look, my you know, if I switch the red lines, you can see they're going right through my body. You know, I'm losing tracking where I would normally have it, and this is not, you know, awkward places where I'm trying to trick the tracking. No, this is just me standing normally, turning right, and I've lost tracking. You know, that's natural VR to me. Anyways, that's my opinion on the Rift S and what I don't like about it. Everything else, pretty good. I have no problem with the the refresh rate and all of that. And that's pretty much the end of this video. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me whether you like the Rift S or what you don't like about it or whatever. That's that. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.